impression that Vladimir Putin wants a stable and predictable relationship?
Well, all I can speak to, Michael, is what our intentions are and what's in the interest of the United States. And in our view, it's in the interest of the United States to have a stable and predictable relationship with Russia. It doesn't mean that we are going to hold back, as we've talked about a little bit before, from implementing consequences when their behavior warrants, as we did just a couple of weeks ago. But that's the reason that the president offered to have a meeting. Again, we're working through the question of, some logistics, but place, location, time, agenda, all the specifics, and that was always going to happen at a staff level. It's really up to them what they want to achieve, but here's what we know. The United States is a member of the G7. We're working in close partnership with our partners and allies around the world, from Europe to Asia to, on a range of shared global interests. And I think the question for Russia is whether they want to be a part of that global community. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Jen, how you doing? The first one, I know you're just doing your week ahead and it's not settled, but do you have a time for the BICAN meeting? Because as you know, House Republicans are going through some leadership elections.
I've heard that. We don't have a time. It may be set, Jeff. Let me see. I think we'll put out some more details on the week ahead, but I don't have the time in front of me.
Whether it's the first part of the day or the second part of the day.
Correct. Correct.
Back on the Russia issue, I know you've done a lot of these.
Yeah.
And you mentioned U.S. sovereignty, but Putin, there's also a move in Russia to crack down on internal dissent, including declaring Navalny's party as he's called an extremist group, which has caused his offices to shut down across the country. Could Russia do anything internally that would cause the sum to be off?
Say the last part again?
Is a crackdown on internal dissent something that would stand in the way of the summit?
Well, first let me say that the United States put in place a number of sanctions in reaction to the treatment of Navalny in coordination with our European partners several weeks ago. It was separate, or it was earlier than the other set of sanctions that we announced, but we did to put those in place because exactly of their treatment of Navalny. Obviously, human rights, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, values are all issues that the President, Secretary Blinken, National Security Advisor Sullivan raised with their counterparts. But the invitation to have a discussion and have a meeting was not offered with the prerequisite that every issue is resolved in advance. We expect we will still continue to have disagreements, and we will certainly voice those if and when that meeting happens. So no, that wouldn't be a predetermined component of it, but certainly we will continue to voice concern, and we will put in place consequences as actions warrant.
And just one more on vaccine